Have you ever cared for everyone around you, given your heart to all, but when you finally needed help, no one was there? This is the story of a man whose kindness was his greatest strength, and yet it almost broke him. In a quiet village, surrounded by endless green fields, slow-flowing rivers, and tall, silent trees, lived a man named Johnson. He wasn't rich, he wasn't famous, he had no special powers, but his heart. His heart was larger than anyone could imagine. Whenever someone needed help, Johnson was there first. If a farmer lost an animal, Johnson would search until nightfall. If a roof was leaking, he would climb up and fix it, no matter the weather. If a family had no food, he shared his own, even when he barely had enough for himself. The villagers often said, "As long as Johnson is here, we are safe." But what no one saw was the tired man behind the smile. Every morning, Johnson woke up before the sun, helping others before helping himself. He carried water for an elderly woman, repaired broken fences, guided lost travelers, and worked long hours in the fields. By the time he returned home, his own house was falling apart. The roof leaked, the walls were cracked, the floor was cold and dusty. He would sigh and say softly, "I'll fix it tomorrow." But that tomorrow never came, because all his tomorrows belonged to everyone else. One evening, a man ran to him, shouting, "Johnson, please help. My animal has fallen into a deep pit." Without thinking, Johnson ran. He pushed, he pulled, he struggled with all his strength until the animal was safe. Everyone cheered and thanked him, then went home. That night, as he walked back alone, his body felt heavy, his breath was short, his legs shook. He collapsed at his door. For 2 long days, Johnson lay sick and weak inside his home. He waited, hoping someone would come. After all, he had helped everyone, but no one came. People assumed Johnson must be busy helping someone else. Lying under his broken roof, Johnson whispered, "I gave my heart to everyone and forgot myself." Tears rolled down his cheeks. On the 3rd day, a traveling monk passed through the village. He noticed Johnson lying pale and motionless by his doorway. The monk gave him water and sat beside him. He asked gently, "My son, why are you alone?" Johnson replied weakly, "Because I helped everyone and forgot to care for myself." The monk smiled and said, "You cannot light other lamps if your own flame has gone out. You cannot pour from an empty cup." Those words sank deep into Johnson's soul. Slowly, as his strength returned, Johnson made a quiet promise to himself. For the first time, he chose balance. He repaired his house. He fixed the roof. He cleaned the dust. He rested when his body asked for rest. Every evening, he sat by the river, watching the sunset, something he had never allowed himself before. People noticed the change. Some whispered, "He's not the same anymore. He doesn't help like before." Johnson just smiled and said, "I still care. I still help. I just learned to start with myself first." Days passed. Johnson grew stronger. His face looked peaceful. His smile was real again. When people came asking for help, he didn't always say yes. And when he did help, it came from a full heart, not an empty one. Slowly, the village changed. People learned that kindness does not mean self-destruction. Love does not mean forgetting yourself. One quiet evening, sitting by the river as the sun dipped into the water, Johnson closed his eyes and whispered, "Loving yourself first is not selfish. It is where real love begins. Remember, you cannot heal others if your own heart is empty. Rest is not weakness. Caring for yourself is not selfish. Take time to breathe. Take time to heal. Take time to love yourself, because the world doesn't need your pain. It needs your light. Thank you for watching MotiSafe. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories that inspire your heart and soul.